What's up, guys? Coach Lou here from TSA, Triumph Strength and Athletics. And one of the things that people always ask me, one of my kids always ask me, is they're intrigued by how do you program? And basically, why is it that we do what we do? And they start asking me, and since this is what I do, I start talking and I don't ever shut up. So one of the things I wanted to show you guys how I do things, and it's not necessarily the only way, it's definitely not the only way. And it may not be the most efficient way, but at least I have a method to my madness and something you guys can use for yourselves also. So something, I'm gonna cater this and niche this towards athletes, but this could be used for any fitness individual. Depending, obviously I say that depending on your level. Some of the exercises have to be catered towards the person, or they should be ready to perform these exercises. So don't necessarily go out and do the most fanciest stuff if you're not ready for it. So an upper body template for all TSA athletes. Understand this is just a template. This is just my general layout, and then I have my programs already done from level 1 to level 4, and pretty much all laid out. But I'll show you guys what the general consensus is of what's going on. So one of the first things obviously we do is warm up, right? General warm up, then we get a more specific warm up for that day, depending on what we're doing on that specific day. If it's a more upper body focused workout, then we're going to hit a lot more upper body specific mobility exercises to warm ourselves up, get the engine running, and get everything ready. One of the first factors that you want to do, right? Now you're warmed up, you have blood flowing, joint articulation, you stimulated the nervous system a bit, power, explosiveness, right? So simplest thing that I always like to do is incorporate throws, right? Throws, slams, and this is where med balls come into play, sandbags. You could flip, do something like a full body, light body exercise, light tire, hammer, what am I talking about? Sledgehammer strikes, something like that. Now understand that these are kept, the volume's kept low, or the repetitions are kept low also. So they want to be explosive, hard, and fast, right? You don't want to fatigue. You want to produce as much force as much as possible. So like I said, slams, throws, various throws, underhand, rotating, overhead to a shoulder. You know, you could have them start on your knees, throwing them forward, incorporate some sprinting into that. There you go. Power push-ups, explosive push-ups, vary in all styles. You could be going onto boxes or onto an implement or something of the sort. You could even use a ladder if you wanted to, like the skill ladder for agility work, and do various style upper body power push-ups if you wanted to. Next, it gets a little bit more funky, strength, right? We want to go into the strength work. Now this is the meat and potatoes of the program. Now, every day that we step in the gym, we have a purpose for that day. We don't just go in there, a lot of people do, we don't just go in there mindlessly, but every day that my kids walk in here, or my clients, they're either working on straight up power, strength endurance, max effort, or hypertrophy. What that means in English, we are hitting different rep ranges. Our goal for the day is to stimulate a different factor in training for a different adaptation. So let's just say explosiveness or power, right? We're going to use a dumbbell or kettlebell clean, quick lift, right? Cleans, snatches. Something of the sort, right? And obviously, depending on the level athlete or fitness type, I'm going to scale that exercise to them and teach them from the ground up right through. Progressing that a little bit. Now they understand how to clean a dumbbell or kettlebell. Now let's go with a clean and press, right? Let's put a combo lift in there. Then they get good at really one dumbbell, let's use two, something like that. So those are just examples of explosive lifts. Now, strength-based, right? Everybody loves the bench press. It's obviously an awesome exercise, something that is bang for buck. You probably can't beat it for upper body development and upper body strength and power. Now, moving on, dips. My second, basically, to me personally, dips are better than bench, but that's just my opinion. And then obviously some push-ups, and we could vary the push-ups in all different styles. We could vary the push-ups adding load, adding some type of extra resistance, changing the leverage points, using different objects. Now remember that both of these, so this is a explosive day, basically what we're working on, say, and this is a strength-based day. So the exercises are geared towards what that day is. And remember, that's just kind of these things. If we had a max effort day, we could still use the bench press, dips, or push-ups. It just means that max effort means we're working from that 1 to 5 rep zone, right? Strength, for me, strength endurance is that 12 plus, 12, 15, 20, 25 reps, you could say. Now you're getting into energy system development, but that's a whole other topic. From here, this is where I vary. This is where I play. This is where I get a little bit unique. So we know that as far as programming, all you want to do is pretty much balance out the body in every which way that it moves. So you have your vertical pushes or your presses overhead. You have your vertical pulls or your chin-ups in all their different variations, right? You have your horizontal pulls, basically your bent over rows. You have your horizontal pushes with your benching. Now, I like to do something like week 1, if this is the way I'm doing it. This is what they're hitting, right? And then week 2, or workout 1, workout 2, I'm sorry. If they're doing something like that. So workout 1, they're hitting a vertical push with a horizontal pull, right? And these rep ranges are all dependent possibly on what it is that day that we're focusing on. But I kind of cater towards the hypertrophy end with my accessory work. Just because I know my athletes, most of them that I have in my clients need size, specifically in the upper rack region, upper back and lower back, and pretty much all over for the most part. So this is one way that I diversify the workouts. Another way is if you use a bilateral exercise and then pair that with a unilateral exercise. So if you're doing something with 2 arms, right? The next exercise you're going to do with 1 arm. Now, I don't like to make things overly complicated. This just is something for me to make sure that I'm on the straight and narrow. I like to say 90% of clients do not need complicated training. They need the basics done routinely and relatively well. And they will increase in every avenue that you could possibly imagine. On 4, it depends what we did there, and it depends even what we did here on the strength part, right? I'm going to throw in some more accessory work. I might throw in a little bit of a challenge, and if I do throw a challenge, I would take out part 5. But it all depends. Like, remember, this is just one day. I may have 4 or 5 days laid out, and this all plays and ties in with each other. So let's just say it's a day that we didn't have any accessory work. That's when I like to get into what's called savage conditioning or savage strength, right? Or finish off with some core. If you watch my other video, I like to finish off with some stability or energy transfer because that's how you really train the core. So let me get into savage conditioning. All that savage conditioning is we're going to finish. It's metabolic conditioning. I just threw the savage in front to make it my own, right? Savage conditioning. We're going to do something, some type of pyramid ladder, rather it be dumbbells, kettlebell, barbell, body weight, maybe a combo of them all, right? And I like to use timed sets because that keeps you honest and that keeps you true. So it might be a 30-15 or a 40-20 of 4 different exercises. Or what I really like to do is a barbell complex finished in a certain amount of time. So say you get 1.5 minutes to finish it, but every round starts at 1.5 minutes. So once you start the complex, you have, if you finish in 1 minute and 20 seconds, you have 10 seconds left. If you finish in a minute, if you finish in a minute, then you have 30 seconds left. The faster you finish, the more rest you get. But obviously, form and technique comes into play. I don't like to see sloppy reps just in the need of finishing. You know what I mean? So that's savage conditioning. I want their heart rate jacked up, and I want them breathing, puffing heavy. Savage strength is something that's going to be a little bit heavier, right? We're going to finish off with something more. It's pretty much more accessory work if we need to, but it's going to be totally different. And then core stability, like we said, we're going to do planks from all different angles, loaded planks, like I said, all different angles. And then energy transfer, we might do some anti-rotational presses, some payloft presses, some extensions in a plank position. But this is basically an upper body, a sample of an upper body day. This is what I use for my clients, and this is all laid out before. And I usually write 3-day workouts. They do get a 4th workout for me personally. That's just anybody. I call those champion workouts. Anybody that wants some free or extra day. But take this, use it on your own. My lower body days are pretty much very similar. It is all dependent on the focus for that day. If you look up what's called conjugated concurrent method, it's basically training different modalities within the same weekly period or the same microcycle. That gets in a little bit, it's periodization, it gets into a little bit something funky, but I personally feel that it helps my clients the most, so that's the avenue that I take with my programming. Take this, copy it, I don't care, use it on yourself. Any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. This is Lou Torres from Transformers Athletics. Till later.